From WHO-HD, the local news leader. This is Channel 13 News at 4.
That's true. All right, well, as baby boomers age, their demands for housing change. After the break, an architect tells us what he thinks it will meet all of those demands.
Iowa's low cost of living makes our cold weather state a hot spot for people to retire. It means their money goes further. That's important when a lot of retirees are on fixed incomes. But here's the hard part. What kind of housing do people need as they get older, and how does that change? Daniel Parolek is an architect from California. He is in town for a presentation tomorrow morning on so-called middle housing. Thank you would prefer the weather where you're from, but you've got the several layers on, so you're good to go, right?
Yes, I'm very good. Thank you.
All right, so middle housing. I haven't heard this term. Our viewers probably haven't. What is it?
So missing middle housing is a concept that I came up with about 5 years ago, and it pertains to this growing demand across the country for people, both baby boomers and millennials, who want to live in a walkable environment, which means they want to walk to their coffee shop, walk to a destination, walk to services. And the missing middle housing are the range of housing types like the duplex or a fourplex that are providing housing choices for people that want to live in these walkable urban environments that can also support those local serving amenities and commercial uses.
Okay, so it sounds like something between the suburbs and high density apartments downtown.
Exactly. We often call it neighborhood scale living, where it's a lot of people, even the ones who want this walkable urban living, and there's a lot of studies that show a growing demand. They don't want to live in the downtown in a high rise or in a 4 or 5 story building. They might want to live in that, still, 2-3 story neighborhood scale in one of these missing middle housing types that still provide that walkability and the choices that they want in terms of less dependence on a car, being able to meet their friends down the corner at the coffee shop or a restaurant or a bar. And so it is providing, you're absolutely right, it's a scale in between kind of the downtown, or what people perceive, and the suburbs.
Dan, I'm picturing brownstones. Would that kind of fall into this?
Yes, absolutely. The beautiful historic brick row houses that you see in a lot of Des Moines sort of pre-1940s neighborhoods. I was using Google Earth to kind of to check out Des Moines a little bit more, and I found a lot of these sort of beautiful brick historic row houses and small apartment buildings, duplexes, in a lot of these downtown adjacent neighborhoods in Des Moines. So
it's sort of a chicken and an egg thing, though, right? You've got to have the businesses, the restaurants, the retail in order to draw the people, but you've got to have the people in order for there to be a base for those.
Absolutely.
Where does Des Moines fall on that, do you think?
So I've seen sort of some of the best examples of that working in a place like Omaha, Nebraska. We've worked in Cincinnati, Ohio, and that was the struggle, is in order for people to sort of make that shift and choose to live in a downtown adjacent neighborhood, there needs to be those amenities provided within that walking distance. So in a place like Omaha, we've actually seen individual developers kind of take it on their own to buy and redevelop and reactivate those neighborhood main streets, and then it creates the value for other sort of developers to come in and sort of fill the gaps or renovate old buildings in that neighborhood.
Somebody just has to take that first step.
Yep, absolutely.
So tomorrow morning you are the keynote speaker at a special presentation. It's by the Greater Des Moines, I want to make sure I'm getting this right, Age-Friendly Initiative. This is where there's a report given that basically says this is how we think we need to modify things in our community to make it better for people who are growing older. AARP is a big part of this. And what are you going to tell them? Des Moines needs more of this middle housing. We're missing it?
Absolutely, and I'm thrilled that a great organization like AARP is taking this on with their constituents and sort of bringing this larger conversation to the city, that it's about rethinking the way we approach planning our cities, writing the rules by which development happens, and creating policies for long-term growth and economic development. And this all really needs to be focused on providing these housing choices and meeting this demand from both the aging population and the millennials. There's a real convergence of this demand, and the cities that are responding to that are the ones that are prospering economically.
which everybody wants Des Moines to be. That is
Absolutely.
interesting how the ages intersect there. So if you're interested in this, if you'd like to learn more, if you're a millennial, if you're a boomer, if you're anywhere in between, check this out. Tomorrow morning from 8 to 10 a.m., you can show up at 7:30 there and get registered. It's open to the public at Des Moines University's Olson Center. There's a continental breakfast. Feel free to just stop by and learn about what thought leaders, what experts think Des Moines is going to look like or need to look like in order to make it the best livable place for people who are growing older. Dan, thanks so much for coming in this afternoon. Enjoy your travels here in our state, and we'll be back with more on the news at 4 right after this.